Hello and welcome back to Nothing But Net, brought to you by Always Balling. The playoffs are here, and just in time, so is a new range of playoff-themed t-shirts from Always Balling called Championship Mentality. Make sure you go and check some out and maybe pick up some at alwaysballing.com. Use the code NOTHINGBUTNET for 10% off your orders. They're a limited run, so get in quick. The playoffs are here, as I said. Great. So many good matchups going on. Let's talk about someone who's not really there, though. Karl-Anthony Towns. Where is Karl-Anthony Towns? He's not the same guy we've seen this regular season right now. The Timberwolves find themselves in an 0-2 hole, which perhaps isn't surprising. But what is surprising is just the significant drop-off on the offensive end from Cat. He's gone from averaging around 21 points per game to averaging 6.5. That's an historic drop-off. There are only two other guys who have had a bigger drop-off in their scoring and have averaged 20 points per game in the preceding season. He looks hesitant. He looks overwhelmed, which is particularly unusual, I'm going to go with, because yes, it's his first playoffs, but it's Ben Simmons' first playoffs. It's Donovan Mitchell's first playoffs, and these guys are out there putting up huge numbers. Why isn't Cat? To be fair, Donovan Mitchell and Ben Simmons aren't playing the Houston Rockets, who are not only an lethal elite, I can't say enough, offense, but also one of the stingiest defenses in the league. And they are playing Cat to perfection. They're doubling him the moment he gets the ball in the post. They're making him settle for outside jump shots, whether they be long twos or inadvisable threes. Every time they run switches and he gets matched up with a smaller guy, that smaller guy, usually James Harden at the minute, who's actually playing defense, will front on Cat and rotate very quickly once the entry pass is made. At the same time, the secondary help comes across from the weak side. They're playing him beautifully, and Tibbs needs to help him get around this. He's having to kick out and pass to his teammates who also are not performing. Jeff Teague maybe okay a little bit. Jimmy Butler recovering from a knee, so fair enough. I can understand why his numbers aren't as high as they were. Wiggins, he's hit and miss anyway. This should be Cat's time. This should be where he seizes the moment. He is the franchise player. He's the guy that GMs have said, if I were to start a franchise, this is who I'd want. In fact, a couple of years ago, he took that mantle away from Anthony Davis. Right now, is Cat the guy you'd want to start a franchise around? It's just, he looks unnervy on the court. He's not mentally there. He's making a few defensive errors that are just a sort of presence of mind situation. Getting to the playoffs for Minnesota was a huge deal. Admittedly, they should have been higher than 8th. They had a slip at the end of the season, and as a result of that, they've landed themselves with the Rockets. But whilst you're here, don't you want to do something more than just get swept? This is a learning curve, and I get that. I totally get that. He's a young guy. This is a youngish team. This is their first taste of the playoffs. But you want to get a W in there somewhere. I'm not expecting them to win the series. If you were expecting them to win the series, you're one of two things. You're either a die-hard Timberwolves fan or you're delusional. There may be some blurring of the lines there, up to you to decide. But I'd have expected them to get at least one game out of this series. They still can, obviously. They're not going to win it. Didn't think they would. 94% of teams that go 2-0 down in a playoff series don't win it. There are only 19 teams that have. I'm not listing them. But the Timberwolves need to make something of this opportunity. They're at home for the next two in the Target Centre. They need to put on a show for the fans. Cat needs to come out and do something. He needs to prove that these fans have got something to look forward to in the future other than this, that they're expecting bigger and better things and that he is the guy to deliver it. If he fails, would you trust him to be the alpha dog on your team? Or is he, is he just the Batman? The Batman? Is he the Robin to the Batman? Is he never going to be that guy? We've seen that his attitude to the game, and it's not a bad thing, is more relaxed. He's more jovial. He's not this cutthroat kind of killer kind of guy. He recently said as well that he's willing to do whatever it takes for the team to win. He's not worried about the stats and the numbers, things like that. Well, I totally get that. That is the party line of, I'm buying into this team. This is a team thing. But this team right now needs you to be putting the ball in the hoop. They do not stand a chance if you are not playing at your best. Maybe it's a schematics thing. Tibbs has been criticised for not giving Karl-Anthony Towns the ball enough, but quite frankly, he doesn't look engaged right now, and it worries me a little bit. But I'd be keen to get your thoughts. Is Cat just overwhelmed by this moment in the limelight? Is it just a slump? Or is there something more? Get in touch with me at NothingButNetBB. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. All three of them. There's probably more than three, but you know, they'll do for me. Make sure you check out alwaysballin.com. Go and get yourself some of their fantastic new t-shirts. I'll see you next time. I've been Mike Miller.